Hello, everyone. My name is Shrikant Balwadi. I'm a product manager on the cloud AI team here at Google. I lead our product discovery initiatives, including retail search, that I'm so excited to share with you all today. In Google, we realize search remains an unsolved problem. Every day, we see a large number of queries that we've never seen before. So we know that consumers' needs continue to evolve, users continue to expect more, and their purchase behaviors evolve all the time. However, in the last 18 months, we've seen a dramatic change. It's an unprecedented one. The shift towards e-commerce adoption was like never before. By some accounts, just within 3 months, e-commerce adoption has accelerated by as much as 10 years of previous estimates before the global pandemic. Shopping is becoming truly omni-channel, with e-commerce becoming the default store. Online orders for physical store pickup and same-day deliveries have become the norm, the expectation. And users today expect to find almost immediately what they are searching for their shopping journeys to be seamless and fast. And lastly, customers expect these experiences to be tailored to their own individual needs. They expect retailers to understand their style, their brand preferences, and surface the product that meets their individual specific needs. And although we are seeing this huge shift towards digital and customers have very high expectations, the data shows that more often than not, those consumer expectations are just not met. And this is especially true when it comes to search functions on retailers' websites. In one of the recent surveys, 94% of global consumers that have seen search results on retailers' website in the last 6 months or so say that the results were not the most relevant ones to what they were searching for. So what do they have to do? They have to rephrase their search. They have to apply filters, conditions, and browse around before they find what they want. Or worse, actually give up, even though the retailer had the product to sell. And let's just reflect on this for a moment. 94% of users who find it difficult to find what they are looking for in their first attempt. And that's a huge number. And it's important to note that this search abandonment isn't just about a single moment in time for a single transaction. A bad search experience actually sticks in the minds of the shoppers. Search quality isn't just about transactions. It's also about your brand. 85% of consumers in the same survey view brand very differently after an unsuccessful search. 74% of these users say that they actually avoid the websites where they did not have a great search experience in the past. That means not only revenue lost, but also customers that are lost for a long time for these retailers. But here's the thing, the bright light. If one can get product discovery right on their websites and mobile apps, it can also lead to additional purchases. More than half of the consumers actually told us that more often than not, they end up purchasing additional items once they find what they're looking for on a website. But getting product discovery right is a hard problem. We know that retail executives, product managers, webmasters all recognize the importance of this problem. Majority of website managers say the abandoned searches are a known, recognized problems at their companies. And they're also rightfully concerned about the cost of these abandoned searches. We at Google always know that the real cost of search is not that of infrastructure. It's not that network. The real cost of search is that of suboptimal search results. And though this problem is well recognized, nearly 2 in 3 say that the company doesn't yet have a clear plan of how to make it easier for consumers to find what they're looking for. And they're looking for solutions. And at Google, we intimately understand these challenges in delivering good quality search results. In retail e-commerce, this problem of search boils down to these fundamental 3 elements. Number 1, understanding user intent, or sometimes we call it the query intent. A search box is a very small place for users to express themselves. And the input is very sparse for a search engine to understand what's in their mind. So that's hard. The second is the context. The same search term from different users coming from different locations, those who have different search histories, all have very different meanings. And that different context is not easy to interpret, and that context, it's difficult to use in the search results. And that's why search quality is hard. The third is the product knowledge. We all know the issues with data quality. And not only there are frequent issues in product data quality in the catalogs, but it's actually very difficult to completely describe products and services just through a long list of attributes and metadata fields. And that's where Google's decades of investment in the form of knowledge graph and data representation comes in. And to address these fundamental challenges of search, that is understanding user intent, the context, and mapping it to product knowledge, we built retail search to help the retail industry improve product discovery for all users. And its very core, this product gives retailers the ability to provide the same Google quality search on their own digital properties. Search that is built on Google's advanced understanding of users' intent and context, and at the same time, fully customizable to meet retailers' own business goals and promotion objectives. So with Google's retail search, retailers get a learning-based search that improves with every query. Retailers get Google's benefit from Google's continuous innovation in search and artificial intelligence. And they combine it with their own product catalog, their own user data in a secure and a privacy-safe manner to create better experience for their end users. Retailers will be able to completely manage the end user experience, providing users with high quality search, ability to scale rapidly as the business grows, while also lowering their IT costs. We believe this product truly empowers retailers to better understand shoppers' intent and help them find what they're looking for, be it on websites or on mobile apps. Perform search at scale and derive better conversion rates and revenue metrics. Benefit from Google's state-of-the-art search capabilities and ongoing innovation, while configuring it to meet their business needs. And whenever we say search, more often than not, what comes to our mind is a search box and a list of ranked results when we type something there. But by search, we actually mean product discovery and all the elements that go into helping users find what they're looking for. This includes suggest or type ahead to make it easier for the users to express the intent by automatically completing the query. It includes browse when there's no query at all, or the users want to filter the results by what we call as facets or attributes. And these facets are dynamically generated by the search engine by understanding all the attributes and the metadata of these products, so the users see the most relevant filters when they see the search results. Product discovery also includes recommendations based on users' interest past behavior, what they have previously searched, what they've purchased, and what others have found relevant products to these search terms. Product discovery also includes paid promotions and sponsored product listings. The queries themselves and the results can be shown on the web or on mobile. The queries can come in any format. It can be in the form of text, or it can be images. And while the focus of this product retail search is on-site discovery, that is on the digital properties of retailers, we all know much of the discovery also happens off-site on search engines. And this is true especially in the early stages of the purchase funnel. And this off-site discovery has a huge influence on the on-site discovery. So Google's understanding of retailers' products from their websites, from the catalog, will help greatly improve the results on your own websites. And in that light, retail search is the newest addition to the product discovery solution suite offered by Google Cloud for the retail industry. This follows other generally available products, Vision Product Search, where consumers can search for products with an image and retrieve visually similar items. Recommendations AI, where personalized product recommendations are delivered at scale based on users' past behavior and preferences. And now, retail search to power e-commerce sites with Google quality search capabilities. In the early stages of product development, we have to work very closely with our customers. We collaborate with them closely to make sure what we build meets their needs. We can take their feedback, inputs, and iterate on these products. So, end of the day, when we take this product to the market, to a wider audience, it really meets the needs of the industry. I've had the pleasure of working very closely with Macy's team to do just that for retail search. Now I'd like to welcome Hilberto Soto, Director of Product Management for Search at Macy's, who I worked with so closely for the last couple of years. Welcome, Hilberto. Thank you so much for joining with us today. I really appreciate you taking time for this session. And before we actually get into the product and the roadmap, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your team?
Thanks, Bill. So as Bill mentioned, my name is Hilberto Soto. I'm the Director of Product Management for Search for Macy's and Bloomingdale's. So we're a central organization. Prior to Macy's, I come from other tech organizations, mainly working in fashion retail and voice AI. Within Macy's, my team's responsibility is to make sure that we're answering the user's intents, search intents as well as browse intents when they come into our site in an intuitive and engaging way for where it makes sense for them, so they keep coming back and making sure they trust our brands.
And it was wonderful to have your partnership, and we had a good journey as we worked together on building this product. Can you share with us what were those business challenges that you are facing, and what was it that you hoped that retail search might address?
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. I think that's the right word to use. I joined Macy's about 16 months ago. This is a very key time, as it was in the middle of the pandemic, just starting. For Macy's, our stores were closing, and we doubled down on optimizing our digital presence. And so we knew that it was important, but more than ever now. At this time, we were looking both at internal and external opportunities to further improve our search technologies to meet our customer needs. It was great that we had Google's partnership in the very beginning, and with the dedicated team members we had for both companies, we really wanted to see what we could do within 2021 to capture as much of the increased demand that we were seeing as possible. From a customer perspective, the things that we really wanted to solve are, how do we make sure we're showing up to the customer every single time they come to our site with an intent that they have, to be able to show them the breadth of selection accurately in a really engaging way, but also in a fast manner. Customers' times are really valuable to us. And from a business perspective, we know we're growing. We know that we're going to see an increase in traffic and also a growing catalog. And we needed a flexible platform that was going to be able to serve our not only our near-term needs, but also our future needs as well.
Yeah, it's been an exciting journey, and also it was great to see Macy's team giving us so many interesting requirements which helped into the product. But on your side, how exactly do you go about measuring the success of this deployment, and what results that you can share with all of us, since you've seen implementing retail search, Hilberto?
Yeah, that's a great question, right? We have to think about it in a value perception. How do customers, when they come to our site, perceive value? And you mentioned it earlier in your site, we don't want them to leave without ever engaging, right? That's never a great thing. And so for us, it was our customers engaging on our site through clicking on products, discovering our breadth of selection when they come with an intent. And so click-through rate was increasingly important to us, making sure that we were improving every single time, because that showed real value right when the customer goes in. But then more importantly too, from a business side as well, is we want to make sure that we're improving our revenue position. So our revenue per visit was quite a key indicator. And the reason why is that though customers can be reviewing the breadth of our selection, they're really, really happy if they're able to get something and order something at the end of their visit, right? It shows intent. It also shows that the brand was listening to them and they trust us for them to come back again. It's creating that life cycle for the customers that not only have a brand affiliation to Macy's, but that maybe are new to Macy's and or Bloomingdale's. And if they find what they're looking for, their likelihood to come back is much higher. And we've seen improvement across both our click-through rates as well as our revenue per visit. So we're quite happy.
Yeah, it's actually very, very nice to hear. It's exciting to see the improvements, not only for the users, but also making an impact for the business.
Yeah.
And as we did this, is there something that, as you reflect on our partnership, anything that we could have done differently, anything that, especially in those early stages, we could do differently if we started all over again?
Yeah, look, this is a very complex initiative that we took on in both companies. And so there's always ample lessons of learning. You're never going to get it right the first time. So when I look back in retrospection, I think knowing that is going to be very key. And understanding what you do need to get right is something that we together as a team did and will define going forward in any of our future endeavors. Things that I could have done differently though with COVID is always meeting in person would probably been the most beneficial thing. Yep. You lose a lot of time. There may be some requirements or definitions that you interpret very differently, and that would have been solved meeting in person, though through COVID times, we know that's not plausible. But with that said, it's having the requirements definition for both teams is going to be pretty key. At the same time, from a company perspective, we're looking at search in a vastly different way. We're really trying to do a step function improvement. And with that said, we're going to have to learn on how to look at our data differently, how to look at our intents very differently from how we used to tag them before, how we should tag them in the future, right? So there's a lot of back-end tagging dependencies that we grew in time to understand. So we could start doing those data deep dives to make us understand the systematic areas for improvement based off of how customers are showing up on our site. I think we got there eventually, but it's always good to find those areas to learn back now we're in the position we are today.
Yeah, thank you. And you spent so many years in the retail industry, and continuing on the same topic, are there best practices that you would share with other retailers looking to improve product discovery overall on their digital properties, Hilberto?
Yeah, I think it's first and foremost, it's super important to understand where's your company wanting to go to? What is your long-term strategy, and how does this retail search support that strategy in itself? Mm-hmm. I can say for Macy's, we know that we're going to grow our catalog. We know we want to have even more digital customers, and also it's important to we understand how they shop within our stores at the same time. So what I would say to other people is understand what's the most important metric you want to optimize for. How do you measure success? And with that journey, there's going to be some counter metrics that you may not get to in the first iteration, and that is okay because you're super focused on trying to optimize one thing for your customers that ultimately supports your long-term initiatives. With that said, making sure that all leadership understands what you're doing and why and what the trade-offs are. Keeping everybody focused is going to be key because, of course, we want to do 1,000 things at once, but understanding where we want to see the most progress is going to be the most beneficial to see actual results, not just for the business, but for the customer in a really timely manner.
Hey, thank you so much for sharing both your insights and the expertise with us. I'm afraid I think we have only time for one more question. If you can share, what's on your roadmap in this area? How are you thinking about evolution of search at Macy's going forward in the coming years?
Yeah, I think you covered it quite well in the presentation earlier. I will say now that we have our foundation and the foundation that we believe in, of course, we'll start finding more systematic areas to improve on. One principle we have here at Macy's within search is customers change and so do we. So understanding customer intent as they're always changing and why they're coming to our Macy's and Bloomingdale sites, making sure that we're always showing up there, even in areas we didn't anticipate before. And I think the COVID has really taught us that at the same time. With that said, now we're going to continue our personalization strategy, specifically with our stores customers as well in our omni presence, as Bill mentioned, also augmenting our page as well, so we can reduce the friction that customers have to enter an intent, either whether it be in search or in browse. There's a lot of cognitive load that a customer has to go through to say what they want into words. So with that said, is what other tool sets are we providing our customers to reduce that cognitive load? Maybe it's pictures, maybe it's voice, maybe it's with our faceting. So we're looking into all different options to make sure that we're meeting the vast needs of our customers, because the great thing about Macy's is that we have a lot of customers and they all want to come into our site very differently, and we're here for all of them.
Thank you so much, Hilberto. We hope that we'll be part of that journey as you continue to improve the product on Macy's.com. It's been a pleasure to working with you. And as always, great to chat with you. Thank you again.
Thanks, Bill.
It was great to hear from one of our key customers, Hilberto from Macy's. In addition to working directly with some of our most sophisticated customers, we are making retail search available through our partners as well to improve product discovery across the ecosystem as a whole. We've already integrated with ISV partners like Group Buy, Qubit, Unboxed to power their offerings with Google Retail Search. So your customers can benefit from the technology, tools, merchandising, analytics, experience layers that are also provided by our partners. As a closing thought, before we end this session, I thought I'd just leave you with a few key points about retail search. The search is built upon Google's advanced understanding of user intent and context to improve search quality for all retailers. This is fully customizable, so you can adjust the results to your own business needs. This is offered as a fully managed service that's easy and fast to deploy and integrates with the familiar user interfaces and connectors. The Unified Retail API simplifies the deployment and integration with a single integration endpoint for multiple use cases, both search and recommendations. Lastly, retailers will have several options, both direct and through our partner ecosystem, to deploy the solution. I welcome everyone to visit cloud.google.com to learn more about product discovery offerings, including retail search, which is now available to a wider audience. Thank you so much for your time.